Welcome to the English language testing system. Today I am your examiner. Contacted by Maulik English Academy. Today exam held in 3 parts. Before that I will ask some personal question. So what's your name?
Well, my name is Shoaib Islam, but everybody calls me as Shopno.
Where do you come from?
Well, I was born in Natur, but I live in Dhaka now due to my father's job.
Do you study or work?
Well, I study at class 6 in MUBC.
Which subject do you love?
Well, I like English very much because in higher education, all books are written in English. So if we learn English now, it will be helpful for future.
How do you pass your free time?
I pass my free time by playing video games, arting, and walking in the ground, etc.
Let's move to the part 1. In part 1 I will ask some question about food and cooking. So your first question is what sort of food do you like eat most?
Well, I like homemade foods. I like to eat homemade foods very much.
Who normally does the cooking in your family?
Well, my mom normally does the cooking in our family.
Do you watch a cooking program on TV?
No, I don't watch cookery programs on TV because I'm not interested in that kinds of topics. But my mom watches it.
In generally, do you prefer eating out or eating at home?
Well, in general, I like eating at home.
In part 2, I will give a cue card and you will solve it. Your time is finished, you will say it.
Okay, so I can describe the house of my mother or of my mother's sister. Well, the house is in Natu, and inside the house looks beautiful. The design of the wall and floor is very good, and I like this house very much because the place where the house built is very good, and there is also a playground where children play at afternoon.
Okay. In part 3, I will ask some question about a different type of home. So your first question is what kind of home are most popular in your country?
Well, tin set houses and buildings both are popular in our country because if we go to village we will see only tin set houses, but if we go on city we can only see buildings and apartments. So I think that both are popular in our country.
What do you think are the advantage of living in a house rather than an apartment?
Well, I think living in a house rather than an apartment gives us a lot of advantages. Like if we live in an apartment, we don't know that who will be our neighbor, and we can decorate the room in our own wish. But if we live in a house, we can decorate the house, and we can feel much and more comfortable in our house. So that's why I think that.
Do you think that everyone would like to live in a larger home?
Yes, I think that everybody would like to live in a large room because in a large room there are a lot of rooms which makes you more benefits. But some people feel uncomfortable in a large room. So that's why I think that.
So, how easy it to find a place to live in your country?
Well, it is much easier to find a place to live in our country.
Do you think it's better to rent or to buy a place to live?
I think it's better to buy a place to live in because if we rent, we have to pay more than 10,000 taka to our landlord. But if we buy a place to live in, then we will not have to pay rent. So that's why I think that.
Do you agree that there is a right age for young adults to stop living with their parents?
Yes, I think that there is a right age for young adults to stop living with their parents. Well, the age is after 20. After 20, then most of people will finish their graduation and study, and they will go to dif- different kinds of districts to for jobs. So that's why I think that.
So your exam is finished?